jump in because we have a lot to talk about.
Oh man, we got to unpack a lot.
You're joking, but actually, yeah.
You have to unpack a lot.
More than
I basically
Mister,
am along for the ride.
You read some comic books. You've got some added context.
Yeah, at gunpoint from you.
A lot to unpack. A lot to unpack. But no more if you don't want to. So let's just jump in. Hey, everybody, welcome to the 500 Greatest Films Podcast. We're back, week 2, special quarantine bonus edition movie series. Welcome back. First of all, if you haven't seen Rocky and every movie in the Rocky series, go do that. Creed's great.
Watch 1 through 3, and then
then
watch 1 through
4, and then also 5,
you can
and then
skip
6.
5, and you can skip. I haven't seen Rocky Balboa,
No, you can't.
so I can't have an opinion. I skipped Rocky 6 altogether, though. I've never seen it.
But it's good.
Rocky 5?
No, but 6 is.
Oh, I haven't seen 5 or 6.
Yeah. But Creed is the best.
Yes.
Out of all of them. So,
Yes.
And Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, he's going to be directing 3.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's super
I want it to
cool.
be really great, and then I want them to stop.
But also, how he's going to direct himself boxing. This is crazy.
I'm pretty sure Stallone did it. I'm pretty sure Stallone directed some of the Rockies.
He directed the first one.
No, he wrote the first one.
Okay.
And then I think wrote and directed the second. I don't know. It's not that important. We don't have to look it up. It's not that
He
important.
added the robot.
Yeah, that was him. He had a robot he wanted to show off. We're back, week 2. We're going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My name is Hector Navarro. Sitting to my left is the Ivan Vanko to my Justin Hammer, Mr. Keller Knoblock. Say hi, Keller.
No.
100%.
No, here's what it is.
You're cool. You have tattoos. You have an accent. You love birds.
Then you're the bird.
And you walk around the house going, I want my Hector.
I want my Hector. This is not my Hector.
It's not your bird, man. Come on. This is your Hector, man. We got this all the way from Russia. Okay, so.
He directed Rocky Balboa.
Oh, very cool. The 6th one? Yeah.
He directed Rocky 2 and Rocky 3.
Yeah, but not
And
4.
Rocky 4.
And 5?
Not 5.
Yeah.
Someone else stepped in on 5. Wow.
That's maybe why he was like,
he can
yeah.
say this is like,
Yeah.
I didn't do the bad one.
Yeah.
I didn't direct the bad one.
He can. He's actually talked, when people have asked Sylvester Stallone to rank them all, he's kind of been like, I think the first one's like a 9. And then he goes, the second one is like a 9, 9.5. Somewhere
He puts
there.
it higher?
Maybe. Or maybe he puts the first one at a 10 and he puts the second
But
and
it's
third
hard
at
for him.
like
I
8
bet
or
it's hard for
9.
him to separate the great time he had frolicking in the ocean with Apollo Creed.
Sure.
In the second one.
He puts the 4th one, he goes, I think he said something like, no one was, it's very political or something. And
those are really
the
fun.
5th one, he doesn't give it a number, but he just goes like, it wasn't great.
We had a lot of fun on that picture.
And then on the Rocky Balboa, he goes, it's the last one. That's all he says. This was years before Creed.
It's the last one?
Yeah, it's how he kind of ranked the first 6.
But it's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. This was years before Creed.
I need to know
years.
What the ranking is now.
From Stallone?
He's gonna be like, I'm gonna give it to Kugler.
Yeah. Like, honestly,
I'm gonna give it to the kid.
I'm gonna
give it to the kid.
The kid did a good
job on this picture.
I bet he says
picture a lot.
Yeah, I would consider it a win if Sylvester Stallone himself was like, listen, the first Rocky's the best one, but Creed is the second best.
I would be
like,
him
okay.
talk movies.
I know.
Like, what was it like with him directing?
I mean,
get the camera. You're gonna bring the camera in real close
to
my face.
Maybe. I can't take too much of what
Hold this right here. I'm going to talk to this turtle for a while. And it's the best part of the fucking movie.
Okay, Mr. Stallone. Sure thing, Mr. Stallone. Hey, call
it's
me
just
Mr.
Frankie.
Stallone. Yeah, it's just Frank Stallone. You got it, boss. Doot, doot, doot.
Doot, doot, doot. They put a lot on his voice in the studio.
Anytime I
They
think
make him
about
sound good.
Anytime I think about Sylvester Stallone outside of the roles he's played, I think about...
Well, it's bonkers to think that he has directed films.
Of course.
He has been at the helm.
And I think he's talented at that, which is crazy.
$1 million productions.
And he's written them and he's acted like...
Yeah.
I think that, especially the character
we're not going to get into how Rocky should not have won Best Picture that year.
Oh, I mean, whatever. The Oscars are all bullshit. I don't mind that it did because I like Rocky. What was it up against? All the President's Men?
All the President's Men.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And I think one other crazy good movie.
Can I offer again why I think that happened?
I know why, but that's not good. It's not a good reason.
I think because...
Society needed an uplifting time brought to you by
because
Sylvester Stallone.
Those other movies accurately reflect the cynicism of the 70s. And I think the late 70s,
But also,
they were trying to get out of it.
It accurately represents taking down that cynicism. Because...
yeah, sure. And I guess Rocky represents the status quo because it is the American dream come true. It's a fictional story, but it is the promise
it's not
of
even,
like...
because he does lose at the end,
But
which makes it a noir
wins.
movie.
He wins.
He wins life.
He wins love.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian.
I bet they have pet turtles. They don't even touch on turtles in the sequels.
What are you talking about? Rocky and Adrian?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
In the sequels, they're turtles?
Bro, you got to watch them all, including the sixth one. At this point, I can't
watch them again. Here's the thing. I can't watch
Has
those again.
Chelsea seen them?
I don't know.
I'll watch them with
I have a
Chelsea, and you'll just be out of the loop. She'll come back in the room. She'll be like, Rocky 3 was okay. And you'll be like, okay, we're almost there.
Yeah, this is going to be...
I'll join you on the sixth one, guys.
Maybe. I'm not even going to make that.
I can't take him too seriously because I remember years ago, somebody asked, I forget where I read it, but it was like, we asked celebrities what they thought of the Republican nominees or candidates or whatever. At the time, I think it was McCain, and he had picked, what's her name?
Sarah
Palin. He had picked Palin as his running mate. And somebody, they got a quote from Matt Damon, and he was like, it's an embarrassment that Sarah Palin is like on the ticket or whatever. And then somebody asked Sylvester Stallone, and Stallone was like, Palin, I love her. Like, that was his.
But what does he know?
I know, man. So it's, I don't know. I think he's a great actor. I think he's a talented writer and a director. And I think he has...
Like, Brad Paisley has a song about, I cried when Obama was elected, or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Brad Paisley?
Yeah, and then he voted for Trump.
Ugh. Actually, I don't even care. I don't know anything about Brad Paisley.
It's
is
just
he like
such a weird...
Is he like the white guy with black hair that always wears the cowboy hat? Like, he's like the one cowboy...
Married to...
He's the one... who?
The daughter from Father of the Bride.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bummer.
Great movie.
For a long time, I think I thought that was Michelle Monaghan, but it's not. It's somebody else.
We all did.
Yeah.
We all did. But it's not, because she's also the mom in a movie we watched recently.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that?
Shit. The mom in...
Oh, she's the mom in the Christmas Chronicles, I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
I was about to say Warriors of Virtue? No, that's not.
No, she was too young at that point. She couldn't have been anybody's mom.
But she can get married and be pregnant in Father of the Bride Part 2?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. We should watch those again.
Sorry, I still see her as Steve Martin's little girl.
I know. I always will. I still see her as like a proto Michelle Monaghan before mom. Okay, let's just jump in.
Who? What?
Because we got a lot of ground to cover. A lot to talk about with this movie. Can I be real with you? I think it moved up a little in my ranking. I think I am going to, if it's not already, I think I'm going to put it over Thor 1.
You're going to put this over Thor 1?
Yeah.
I already told you it's going over Thor 1, and it's going over The Incredible Hulk.
I really love the character of Hulk. So I don't know how, I don't think this is going to go for me over Hulk, the movie.
I told you why.
Because
here's the thing.
Well, hang on, save it. Let's get into
you
it.
would already rather watch Ang Lee Hulk all day.
Yeah, that movie's nuts.
It rips.
I kind of would.
But also by rips, I mean moves very slowly.
Yeah.
And then
makes you think.
Leaves you
but also
feeling
it's
like
you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, Danny Elfman, keep doing that music.
That's cool.
Thing. It's nice.
What are these vocals? This is cool. That movie's a trip. If you have not seen 2003 Hulk in a minute, it's almost a 20-year-old film. 2 years from now, it'll be 20 years old.
That's crazy. Honestly, holds up pretty well. While
even
also
effects and stuff.
Being not a good movie.
Yeah, but it being like a bold movie.
Yes.
I love it because it's bold.
I love thinking about Ang Lee making that movie.
Me too.
Just thinking about his thought process.
Me too.
Thought process.
Yeah. He went for it.
Yeah.
But we can kind of cover... Basically, we should try to keep this simple and be like, let's just only do the ranking per each entry, meaning so far...
Iron Man 2.
That's it. And I think...
Hector's making me watch this in the wrong order.
It's easy. It's easy so far.
It's in the wrong order.
Iron Man's number 1. Iron Man 2's number 2. I'm sorry. That's what it's going to be.
Thank you for the apology.
I feel like most people would probably agree with that. Most people.
So.
I know. I do have a friend who likes Iron Man 2 the most out of all 3 Iron Mans.
Giles' favorite MCU movie.
Yeah.
He's pumped.
Wait until they make Captain Britain, then he'll really love it.
Maybe.
Which is
like, they got it all wrong.
Yeah. That's not what Gem World looks like. Where was Megan? No, it's not good. Not good. I don't even know if that's accurate. Anyway,
I don't know any words you said.
Speaking of Sir Giles, okay, he's about to start crying because I made fun of him. Sorry, Sir Giles. I'm sorry.
Dude, suck it up.
Suck it up, buddy.
Dude, you gotta read.
Come on. So hand the phone over to him so he can kind of give us a launching point so we can talk about this film. If you would be so kind, Sir Giles, what movie are we talking about today?
Iron Man 2, 2010. Director, Jonathan Favreau. It isn't quite the breath of fresh air that Iron Man was, but this sequel comes close with solid performances and an action-packed plot. I'm surprised that that's the review.
Yeah, it's not as harsh.
The amount of negative.
Let me tell you what.
People give it.
I think that this movie, as a movie, fine. It's fine.
When you think about it in the
like in the bigger picture of every movie ever made, every movie that came out in 2010, it's fine. But I think that especially fanboys really love to get into or girls or fan people love to get into we got to rank them. I do that shit too. And I think that when you compare it to the other entries in the MCU, it's going to be middle or lower tier.
Yeah.
For a bunch of different reasons. So
unless you're Giles.
Unless you're Sir Giles. So Keller, let's start with you. Do you mostly agree, disagree with that Rotten Tomatoes? And
I think this maybe was too nice.
Okay. It could be a little harsher. Give me sort of your overall thoughts.
When it says the sequel comes close,
yeah,
it doesn't come close.
No, it's
I'd
different.
say I'm gonna give the first Iron Man an 8.
Okay, and this is what, a 6?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I give it, for my ranking, I give the first one 5 stars on Letterboxd.
This is better than Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to at one point.
We already did in another episode.
I was like, let's talk Wonder Woman, or let's talk superhero movie sequels and how tough they can be to pull off. And I think this movie is good or
the best
fine.
Sequel ever.
Dark Knight.
I'm still going to say Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, oh, that's fair too. Because it just swings. It just it knows what to leave behind. It knows what to bring.
Yeah.
It knows what to change. It knows what to keep intact. What to reference. What to call
back. The Dark
back.
Knight only deteriorates with age. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
It gets dustier. It gets a little rusty.
I think it's very indicative of 2008.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think even Iron Man 1 is a little more timeless.
It's a little more timeless, other than the War on Terror bullshit.
All of the very post 9/11.
But also, that has been America for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Essentially my whole life.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I think that The Dark Knight is such a, like, it's like a powerful movie. Like, when you're in it, like a lot of Christopher Nolan stuff, you're just like feeling it. You're like, this is so awesome.
But also, I'm not trying to take away from that movie. No, I love that movie.
For sure. Me too. But I think it's a fair comparison. They both came out in 2008. They both, and it's a sequel. And I think in the most important ways, it delivers and enhances the first Batman Begins film. Does Iron Man
it builds out the world in a cool way.
Yeah.
It gives you the best character in the entire franchise.
Joker.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying.
Morgan Freeman. Lucius Fox. Exactly.
I was going to say the guy who gives him up.
Yeah.
Who's in every fucking movie we watch now. I don't know why we constantly recognize him in everything. He gets work.
Guy? Oh, yeah.
The guy who tries to out him is like...
Yeah. So you're telling me...
A man who beats people within an inch of their life.
You're going to blackmail this man?
Blackmail this man?
That's your plan? Oh, good luck with that. And you're like, ooh, okay. That's good.
Lucius.
Yeah, that dude. He was in First Cow. Is that what he was in? No, what was he in?
No, it wasn't First Cow.
He's also in Man of Steel, I think.
He was in He was in Ma Rainey. He was a cop.
That's right, the cop in Ma Rainey's. Yeah. What was the name of that movie?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That's a good movie, man. Holy shit. Yeah, that scene was tense.
Those performances are what's good about that movie.
Absolutely. So, Wonder Woman 1984, Iron Man 2, The Dark Knight. They're all direct sequels. They're all part 2s. And I think it's a fair comparison to talk about sort of all of them and kind of what they...
Especially Iron Man 2, Dark Knight being both.
In that era.
And also Iron Man is Marvel's Batman.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah. Wonder Woman is like Marvel's Thor, or vice versa in some ways. But then Captain Marvel's also Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman, the sort of solo female character and everything. But let's kind of get back to you, Keller. Yeah, she's space. She's space. She's
space Wonder Woman.
Space Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's like Earth Thor.
Yeah.
She's like Thor, but on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I never thought about it like that. Yeah, that's true.
Midgard.
Yeah, Spider-Man is like teenage Ninja Turtles. Wait, no, I lost it.
He's not a mutant.
I don't have it. Back to you for a sec, Keller. Keep going with your overall thoughts. Where are you with Iron Man 2? What do you like? What do you dislike? Go.
RDJ's great, as always. We got the addition of Donnie Cheadle,
Donnie Cheadle.
which is awesome.
He's
great.
I love him.
I love Donnie Cheadle.
He's good in this, and he's only going to get better.
And he's good in the world.
True. I like that. He said he was going to talk to Letitia Wright.
I hope that happens.
Let's see how that pans out. So we got Donnie Cheadle in the mix. We got Gwyneth Paltrow returning. She had a little bit of the sniffles.
Yeah,
But
she was sad.
how'd you feel about... No, I mean, literally, she had a cold
I think she was sad, too.
in like a scene or two, and Robert Downey pointed it out in character. He's like, do you have the sniffles? Get away from me. I don't want you to cough on me. How'd you feel about the Tony Stark Pepper Potts storyline? Love story.
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I already, it's a weird thing
So it's
to
a
do. It's
weird-
very 60s that their relationship is a thing to
Yeah.
begin with.
A little Mad Men.
That's what I'm saying.
I get that.
They kept that aspect of it, but also you said that she eventually ends up with Happy in the comics.
Correct. And these comics did originate in the 60s. You know, Pepper's an
Yes.
important character, but they did
And we
have
talked about
you know,
last time, what do you take, what do you leave?
Right. And it feels almost like they tried to acknowledge it, that last scene on the rooftop where like they kiss, and it's nice.
And it's like, that was weird. And she's like, it wasn't weird.
It wasn't weird. He goes, it's not right. And then Rhodey's there, and she goes, he had just fired me. Like, she's trying to say, like, look.
Trying
this
to
is-
justify it. It's no longer a conflict.
He goes, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. I was here. And I think that's also him as a friend being like, dude, I know that you two actually care about each other. This is not inappropriate. Like, it's okay. So, okay.
And the entire, he gives her the job. And that's when
Which is cool. She
she
should
keeps
be
it at the end,
CEO.
right? She
No.
says she's getting rid of it.
Well,
Who
actually,
becomes CEO?
Unclear.
Because she's like, what if I don't take your resignation? It's like the last thing he says
That's
in the whole
true.
movie.
And it feels like
I feel like she still got it.
she's got a little bit of a cameo in Avengers, and I feel like you're right.
She's
I feel
still
like she might
running
still,
shit.
Yeah.
Like in Homecoming, when she's basically
Press conference
comes
and stuff.
out and
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got what other
we
sort
should
of...
look into that. Is she still the CEO? of
We'll
Stark
keep track.
Industries?
Yeah, we'll keep track. I mean, maybe
now in the MCU.
in the MCU, well, there's been some developments about the former CEO of Stark Industries. We'll have to...
R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D. He died in 2023. Coming up. Let's stick with the good guys for a sec. Happy Hogan, Black Widow, Nick Fury. How you feel about it?
Happy Hogan. John Favreau's like, that first movie was good, right, guys?
Yeah.
Guys, you guys like that first movie?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going to be in 30% of this one. I'm going to get a fight scene.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a car chase scene.
Cool.
I'm going to get 7 jokes
Yeah.
at least. I'm going to get my ass kicked by Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
He really let himself have a good time on this one.
And I honestly...
What did I say about this movie? This movie is like they wrote it on cocaine.
You didn't say that while we're
It's
watching
Gremlins
it, but okay.
2. No,
okay.
we
Yeah,
said
but
this
it's
recently.
Kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
It's Gremlins
it's
2.
all over
It's
the
going in
place.
the movie. It's a
Yes.
bunch of nuts like ideas, and it's like, okay, he's gonna make a new element. It's in the movie.
Tony Stark drives a race car.
It's in the movie. Yeah, it's in the movie.
Briefcase suit. It's in the movie.
You mean he takes a briefcase, an Iron Man suit, the most technologically advanced suit ever, and it comes out of a briefcase? That guess what? It's going in the movie.
Hey, Mickey Rourke, what do you want to do? It's in the movie.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like
Justin Theroux wrote it.
Yeah, it's
the
in the movie.
relax guy from Zoolander.
The DJ from Zoolander.
The lead from The Leftovers.
Just kidding. He's also the co-lead in Wanderlust. One of the.
True.
He's great.
VCRs and fax
funniest-
machines.
the funniest
and
thing.
Pagers.
So I like Happy Hogan in movies after Iron Man 1 and 2, where he is in like Iron Man 1
I like
and 2.
where he's more of a mentor, and he's just
Sure, to Spider-Man and Far From Home.
because even in Iron Man 3,
He's
he's
funny.
basically like an equal to all of them. He's just like, I'm in this shit with you and Pepper now.
Kind of, but also he's still the butt of the jokes, which is funny. He's like
Well,
he's
yeah,
like the
but,
security
like,
guy. He's always like, "Hey,
yes.
badge," like that's funny. And he likes Downton Abbey. And there's the flashback in Iron Man 3 where it's him with the long hair, where I think is the funniest.
I also I hand it to Jon Favreau for relinquishing it and giving it to Shane Black.
True. But I'm just gonna say I do like Favreau and Happy later. In these first two
I
movies,
like him
he's fine.
even in these.
Yeah,
I think he's funny in these.
yeah, he is.
Like when it's like I cut over Mulholland. That's funny. Like
He did, boss. I had to cut through Mulholland to catch up. Yeah. Black Widow. Introduction to Black Widow. A major character
pretty
in the MCU.
terrible.
Let's
I'd
talk
say
about it.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say worst part of this movie brings it down an entire grade.
Let me
this-
throw some stuff your way.
I said this is a 6. It's now a 5.
It's now 5 because of that. Let me throw some stuff your way because
Okay.
you're not wrong.
Okay.
It's
Lob
not
it.
great. It's
Lob
not
it
great.
here.
But this is a very interesting and tricky character overall. First of all, female superhero character in a male-dominated industry since the 60s. You're gonna, like, I don't care what character you are, unless you're like Miss Marvel Kamala Khan and you were just created, you're gonna have some problematic shit.
But
right?
what have we just said?
Leave behind and
Leave it
update and
in the
I know.
background.
Here's what I'm saying. The
Leave
core
it in the rear
you're
view
not wrong.
mirror.
You're
we
not
don't
wrong.
get anything about Black Widow. I said, even when we were in Russia,
Yeah.
what if they planted a Black Widow seed while she was in
Right,
Russia?
right.
And then you were like, we didn't even know if she was going to be in Russia.
True. They didn't really
So
commit to that
They
yet.
didn't commit to that yet.
So I'll
but there's
give you
still so much more they could have done.
true.
Like,
But
give us a conversation between Scarlett Johansson and Fury
yeah.
or something.
And so let me kind of divert for a second because for the past week I have been handing you a couple comic books to read. Official Marvel Cinematic Universe tie-in comics. Are you looking for it right now? Are you trying to
It's
grab-
right there.
it's right there. Including so you read while we were watching the movie last week, the Iron Man movie adaptation, which had a few little Nick Fury moments.
Yeah.
That just showed like he's sort of like keeping his eye on Tony Stark, right? And now we know, it's probably because he knew his father Howard, and like he's just kind of keeping tabs on him. Not that he knew like he's going to build a suit and be a superhero. He was just keeping tabs on him. Then I handed you a cool.
He's an oracle.
What's that? Yeah. Then I handed you a cool Black Panther book, which was just early years of T'Challa, active as Black Panther.
He's doing stuff this whole time
In
just
Wakanda.
because in Wakanda.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he meets Okoye, and they sort of team up for the first time, and then they're going to become friends for 8 to 10
For
years.
life.
And yeah, we're going to see him later. And then there was a couple of Iron Man 2 tie-ins. The first one was, it's called, actually, can you hand that to me? Because I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Iron Man 2 Public Identity is what it's called. It says here on the back. Iron Man 2 Public Identity. It's 3 issues.
Sorry, I rubbed the microphone.
It's okay. It's okay.
I rubbed
We
the
do.
microphone.
Yeah, it's fine. Iron Man 2 Public Identity, which was the events in between the first 2 Iron Man films. And he's running around the world and he's trying to fight like 10 Rings operatives, and he's kind of working with the government, but kind of telling them to fuck
Basically
off.
just doing the same thing he did in the first movie that one time a few times.
Now we also see General Ross. So
Yes.
like Stark.
And he references that he was dealing with the Hulk.
That's true, because at this point, and we'll see when we get to the Incredible Hulk, Banner was turned into the Hulk like 5 years ago, and he has just kind of been on the run and sort of like there's been sightings here and there.
Because
Like
he's the only one that, there's not that much of the origin in Hulk, right?
no, it's all covered in the opening credits.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
all
yeah,
we
yeah,
see the
yeah.
accident, we see him Hulk out, Betty gets hurt, then Ross comes in. Like, he hurt my daughter, and then he has to bail, like, from the hospital. He leaves, and he's sort of on the
So
run, and it's a fugitive.
That's crazy that it is kind of a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk.
In a way, and I think it's because the script started as that. I think because
That
the Ang
checks
Lee
out.
Hulk ends, he's in Brazil, or no, he ends as he's in like
who is the
Nicaragua
villain in the
or
first
something. The first one is
His dad,
a version of the Absorbing Man.
The Absorbing Man, and then this
The
is
second
Abomination.
one, Abomination,
Okay.
with Ross, with a
Is
little.
Abomination the big Hulk bad?
He's the big physical one.
Who
The
are
big,
the other?
the big mental one
And
is
Wolverine's a big Hulk bad. The biggest Hulk bad is Bruce Banner.
Thank you. His insecurity.
Wow.
So Abomination is the big physical bad.
Okay.
And at one point in the comics, they even said that he had killed Betty. Abomination killed Betty.
That's fucked.
It is, to just further the animosity. Oh my
Liv
god.
Tyler's coming back, right?
I hope so. They haven't announced it
I
yet.
thought they did
Not
it.
yet. It was just Tim Roth. He for sure is, which is awesome.
If-
Right? Bring back Liv. That's all I'm saying.
Let Edward
Secondly,
Norton play a doctor one time. Let him come in and just play a doctor
It'd
for
be so
5
weird.
seconds.
It'd be so weird.
It'd be super weird.
It'd be so weird.
Have every Hulk that's alive.
You got it. You got it, boss. You have Eric. You know what?
Yeah,
Bring
yeah.
back Eric Bana as somebody else in the MCU. I'll take that all day. That'd be
Well,
cool.
yeah.
That'd be cool. Anyway, so we'll get to Hulk, but
Nick
Hulk
Nolte.
is Hulk is, yeah, bring him back. Hulk is active somewhere. So Ross comes in and he's dealing with Stark. And then Justin Hammer comes in and starts giving stuff to the military. And Ross is like a part of it. And then when Justin Hammer's drone thing or whatever fails and it's like lands behind enemy lines, they basically ask Stark to go in and save their ass. And then he does. General Ross meets Stark kind of face to face. And then at least it's the beginning of they know each other.
Yeah.
Which will pay off later. Then you read Iron Man 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is just a bunch of little vignettes. There's like a story where, like, again, Iron Man comes in, saves a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Somebody I don't know.
Yeah, there's Coulson, like, recruiting a guy.
Yeah.
It's just all big fake, like, oh, we got to go chase down these guys. The 10
that
rings.
whole thing was like, do I know this person? Am I supposed to know who this person is? Does this become a superhero later?
It would have been cool.
No.
It would have been cool if
Turns
that
out
character would have been cool if that character shows up in like Agents of
any way
S.H.I.E.L.D.
at
or
all,
something,
ever
the
again.
TV show,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
No.
And then the last little vignette was Natasha Romanoff, was like Black Widow.
A whole bunch of stuff we could have used in this movie.
Yeah.
I know what they were going for. It's like, wait, what? The whole time?
The twist, right? The reveal.
That's crazy. And it's like, they're not going to get Scarlett Johansson to play an assistant in this movie.
I agree. I think what I was going to say, thank you for bouncing us back. So that's sort of the comic book world. And you can just really quick, give us your thoughts on that. Do you feel like they enhanced your viewing and understanding of the universe, or you felt like they were inconsequential?
During the movie, when she walks in, and it's like, it is good knowing her mindset. Yeah. That she hates that she's here.
Yeah.
She does not want to do this at all.
She had to go undercover for like a dumb corporate job.
Do a cubicle job, had to poison somebody, has to deal with an asshole.
Yeah.
Tony
and
Stark.
Poison, like, just give her a stomach ache. Like, she didn't kill.
It sucks that lady died from throwing up. She threw up to death.
Yeah, there was this other lady who was supposed to be the notary to take the files out to Malibu to the house of Tony Stark. And so she knew that morning. She's like, let me put something in her coffee. Secret. I'm a spy. She got a stomach ache, like had to go to the doctor. And then they're like, can you do it, Natalie Rushman? And she goes, sure. And you said it was cool to know that. And then you're watching the movie.
Yes.
Here's the other thing you brought up. Everybody who's watching these movies, if they're fans, like you said, even movie people know they're not going to hire Scarlett Johansson to play a notary in Iron Man 2. Like, she's going to be some kind of a significant Marvel character. And it was a big role.
She was in the trailer.
Emily Blunt was in the running. Like, it was a big role. Yeah. I think she was in the trailer. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, movie people know Scarlett Johansson means it's a big deal. Comic book people know Natalie Rushman, sure, that's Natasha Romanoff. Like,
working for
comic book people know she's a big deal. So my thing is, and this is some of the stuff I wanted to throw your way, because everything you're saying is correct, and I believe that they improved the depiction of Black Widow as the movies went on, and I'm waiting to see her movie to really be like, let's see what you guys got. Let's see what you guys got, because I think I really like her.
I think they've kind of fumbled it most of the time. I think she's the best in Endgame. Yeah. And I still am pissed she died.
Sure, I get that. But I also still feel like, here's the thing.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Her and Iron Man's sacrifice, I felt it and I liked it.
Yes.
It's just a bummer that Iron Man got a funeral and there wasn't one for, do you know what I'm saying? It's that thing of like, well, are we still going to see a
what are you talking about?
Funeral? When he threw the bench.
Hulk threw a bench. You go, you get your hammer, you talk to him.
I love it. I love that scene. It's great.
You fly, you talk to him.
And I know that we're all on a time crunch. I get it. They were all on a time crunch. They're like, let's mourn for a second.
Have a double funeral though.
Right. Let's
just have a double funeral.
And they kind of did, because Scarlet Witch, not Scarlett Johansson, Scarlet Witch came up to Hawkeye.
Scarlett Johansson.
And she was talking about Vision, and he was talking about Widow, and they were kind of bonding.
They were both like, yeah, dead people are sad.
Yeah, we lost our people. But anyway, you're not wrong. But I think that this opening movie, first of all, I appreciate that Black Widow in the comic books did appear as a villain in the Iron Man comics. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool that she first shows up in a Iron Man movie. That's cool. Versus Hawkeye does not first show up in a Thor comic. So it's not necessarily like a reference that he shows up in a Thor movie first. Whatever. Not a big deal. Does he show
up in a Thor movie first?
Yeah, dude. We're going to get to see Hawkeye next. He's at the compound. Yeah, he's at the compound. Remember?
I don't remember at all. I only remember it because he has a huge role in Avengers.
Yeah.
And I remember not knowing anything about Hawkeye.
You don't.
And I was like, I don't care that he's possessed or whatever.
Yeah. And he was in Thor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And these two characters, Hawkeye and Black Widow, have been dealt with the least thus far. And even whenever we get anything from them, it's a little bit of a
And I feel like the movies even know that because
Yeah.
when they do get something, it's usually the two of them together.
For sure. But in this first movie, the other thing I wanted to say to you too is we're talking about the art of updating and adaptation and updating and updating and updating. The problem is, and maybe this isn't a problem, maybe I'm wrong, you tell me if I'm wrong. Widow's whole thing is supposed to be she is a duplicitous spy. She is somebody who uses her appearance to basically trick dumb men, including Tony Stark, including, Hawkeye, whatever.
Yes.
To be able to be a spy.
Does not tell us that in
I know.
any way.
Other than the fact that
she shows up later, but then when they shows up later, they're like, let's make sure we're focused on her ass in spandex when she walks into the shot.
It's almost as though
she walks in.
Yeah, and it's her butt.
First thing, no, I'm talking even beginning of the movie. It's like, ooh, does she come with the car?
Yeah, when she comes into the
and then
into
it's like,
the
ooh, let's look up who she is. And now I got to look at the lingerie pictures.
I know. But again, it's like, is there a way to do? Because this is the thing. Spies are also James Bond, Ethan Hunt, Jason Bourne.
Like, we've watched The Americans, which is a perfect way to talk about this.
Yeah, because they're Russian spies.
Exactly.
Literally.
They're Russian spies. She does the exact same thing.
How do they depict Kerry Russell? I assume there's no nudity. I assume it's like cool. It's like evil, even level playing field.
He does the same thing the whole time. He does the same thing. Yeah. They both do. Yeah. Are doing the same thing the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, now that show has that advantage of like, here's a married couple or two agents.
They also show her power in the situation the entire time.
I like that.
Know that she's in control the whole time because she could kick this guy's fucking ass at any time she wants to.
And it's unfortunate that
in this, you don't get any context because they willingly on purpose left it out of the movie.
Because
they wanted
because they wanted to maintain a reveal.
Even when you get the reveal, she still walks in and is like, "Hey, I made you martini. Is it dirty enough?" Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene?
No. Is it? Do you mean
it's when he's locked in the house on his own
in Iron Man 2 in this movie?
Yeah,
she comes in with a dirty martini. I think
when you left. Yeah,
but no, hang on. I don't think she was. Or was she revealed by that point?
I think she was revealed. That's when he's on lockdown.
Wait. I'm trying to think. Was that before the house party?
I think it's after the house party.
No, I think it's before.
No, that's when Coulson has him locked down.
Yeah. But I think the part you're talking about.
When she's revealed.
She's revealed at Randy's Donuts. And that scene shows her butt.
But then they lock him down.
Yes, and then I think she just stays with Pepper. Like CEO of Stark Industries. I think the scene you're talking about, and also, side note, there was a deleted scene.
Well, either way, that scene's fucked.
Yes, because like you're talking about, there's no context. And also, side note, there's a deleted scene where she goes...
And even her introduction, ass shot. She doesn't have power in that scene either.
In Randy's Donuts?
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Now, I'm getting confused because you're talking about two introductions.
I'm talking about the whole movie.
But I know, but every time you got to specify. When you're saying introductions, Natalie Rushman introduction?
Yes.
Black Widow, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Both not great. And they're both, and what you're describing, it's like the Randy's Donuts scene should have been a bit more like, hey, this is Black Widow. She is a fully capable, do you know what I mean? In the Randy's Donuts scene, how do you do that? I don't know, but they wrote themselves into that corner of like, we're going to have this happen.
Let's have the Randy's
Donuts.
Yeah. That's where Nick Fury shows up.
Correct, which is fun and it's cool and it's funny. And then the whole Natalie Rushman stuff where she shows up at his house to be the notary. And like you said, he's clicking on the table and there's like, did you model in Japan, Pepper? She modeled in Japan. And that's all undercover stuff. But again, it's devoid of that context of what I was going to say with the Americans is you have the context. What I was going to say with there are spy movie characters that are male. James Bond, Ethan Hunt, Jason Bourne. These male characters can go into a scene, even if they're doing undercover spy sexy stuff.
If they're doing seducey stuff, like at the beginning of Casino Royale.
Yeah, they're in charge.
You know exactly why he's doing it the entire time.
Still sexy.
Sure.
Still looking at these characters and being like, man, Daniel Craig works out. He's in shape. Look at that bod.
But she doesn't look great in that scene.
In which scene?
In the Casino Royale scene.
Who doesn't look great? The woman that he's seducing?
At the beginning. Yeah, she looks terrible. She's like, ooh, my husband will be upset.
So maybe they didn't do that because they didn't want to make Stark look bad. There's a deleted scene I was going to say a second ago.
They make Stark look bad.
Yeah, because he's all ogling her.
The first thing he says,
there's a deleted scene where...
Does she come with the car?
Yeah. That's the U.S. Marshal. That's not Natalie Rushman. That's the woman who hands out the subpoena.
Oh, yeah.
And she was played by Kate Mara.
Okay,
Who's
still
another
bad.
actor.
Still
yeah,
bad.
not great. Not great. There's
Still
a lot
bad.
of. That's not great. That's not great.
And I get that that's supposed to be like
best
he's
little.
supposed to be a playboy, but
Sure,
even
sure,
like
sure.
I feel like Dark Knight does it better. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up with models.
Right,
That's how
right.
you show that he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like
It's a tough balance because he also has to be likable throughout. So these movies have him flirting with women, but at the end he still ends up with Pepper Potts. These movies have him flirting with women and then sleeping with Leslie Bibb at the beginning of Iron Man 1, but at the end he still sort of has a little moment with Pepper Potts because these movies keep trying to tell you eventually they're gonna settle down, but it's
he won't be
you know,
a piece of shit the whole time.
Right.
But also,
It's not great.
it's a different way to go about it. It's a different way to go
Yeah,
about it.
I think so. I think no matter what, if they wanted to keep any of that stuff intact, it was going to be shitty. Like, and it should have been because that's a part of Tony Stark.
It needs to be about that then.
Yeah, it needs
They
to be
don't
about
at
that.
all.
It needs to be
It's
about
not
that.
at all shitty in these that he is this way.
I think.
Other than Gwyneth Paltrow being like, oh man, I'll take out the trash.
Sure. That's not
Like-
great. That's not great. And also the scene in the first Iron Man where Leslie Bibb reappears
Because
at the party.
here's the deal.
What?
Tony Stark is the trash in that scenario.
That's what, yeah, exactly. And the thing that maybe makes him look bad is when he forgets Leslie Bibb's character's name.
Yes.
But also Leslie Bibb's character is interesting because she's also depicted as not
But also
great.
they fuck her over
That's what I'm
by
saying.
writing her as someone who completely bails on all of her values immediately.
She does later at the party. She does confront Stark and holds him accountable for like, hey, this is in Gulmira and this is your weapons. Did you know about this? So she's the person who starts Stark where he goes back home and he's like, I didn't know
Yes.
about this. So that's cool. But you're right. It's just tricky. All of this stuff
She's
is
like,
going
oh,
to be.
here's my values again, though. Remember?
Yeah, exactly. Any sort of womanizing aspect to any of these male characters, it's going to be
obviously
tricky.
written by a dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can't wait to see Black Widow the movie.
Yes,
I want to see that character.
and that's why I can't wait to see new James Bond.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, I'm very curious about that too. Anyway,
Phoebe Waller-Bridge pass on the script.
yeah.
What's going to happen?
What is that? What is that about? What is going to happen? By the way, best side kind of nameless character in this movie. It's a little
Peter
kid
Parker.
with the Iron Man helmet.
It's
Peter
Peter
Parker.
Parker.
It's the best.
And
It's great.
retroactively named Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was for sure Kevin Feige's plan the whole time.
No, it was not. And also that was John Favreau's son who played that little kid
What?
with the Iron Man helmet, which is cool.
What?
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's cool. Anyway,
cool.
I just think it's cool because it's like whatever. It's just a cool little comic
Because
booky
he could have
thing
been there at that
yeah,
time. Yeah,
it lines up,
right.
and it also feeds into how he has
But
a
also,
bit of.
it doesn't even line up.
Yeah, it does. If he's 8 years old, then 8 years later he's going to be 16.
Okay.
He's gonna. So it's like it's about it lines up with Captain America: Civil War
damn it.
when he comes in. But let's go back to Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
We were still sort of finishing up talking about her. I think Scarlett Johansson did a good job,
Of course, with what
Right?
she was given. Yeah. She's
and
great.
the stuff at the end where she
and
does.
even holding her own in those scenes
Yeah.
where she has to do that garbage.
Holding her own. I think it's great. I think she did a good job with the action stuff at the end.
I wish there was a scene where she kicked Tony Stark's ass.
That would have been cool.
And the way she kicked Happy Hogan's ass, like not kicks his ass,
But,
but,
like, sort of overpowers him or
It's like,
shows like, hey, yeah,
don't
that would
fuck
have been
with
great.
me.
There's a deleted scene. Let me get through this one this time where she is messing with a repulsor.
Mm-hmm.
Like gauntlet. Like during the Tony Stark party, she's one of the women that kind of gets closer to him and maybe even a little flirtatious thing, which is like, would it not have worked or would it have helped this thing we're talking about? I don't know. But he's
as
like,
long as you know that that's what she's doing,
right, that
like,
she's
you
doing that
never-
to get closer. Yeah.
unless you have movie brain and know that Scarlett
It's
Johansson,
Scarlett Johansson.
isn't just going to be this
A
notary.
person, yeah.
Yes.
And then, I mean, the stuff where she's in the back seat taking her clothes off, not great.
Didn't need it.
Not great.
Didn't even need it.
I think that
You've already shown her in her lingerie earlier.
true. I think she is funny and Favreau's funny when he, moves the car around
Yeah.
and she goes, eyes on the road, and he's like, I got it. Like he gets called out on it. Sure,
But
that's
also,
funny,
he directed
but-
that scene.
Yeah.
That's his scene.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that their thinking, and maybe I'm wrong, was like, let's introduce Black Widow, let's plant the seeds, but have her not go full Black Widow just yet, but maybe at the end, but maybe she's just undercover, and that will give us an excuse to have this character featured. But like you were saying earlier, it's also surface level. She's barely a character in this. The only thing we get about her character is that she is a SHIELD agent at the surface level, and she
Do we
can
even
go
get her real name?
undercover. Agent Romanoff. Yeah.
It does say that? Okay.
But her real name is also like,
not even that.
it's like Natalia Romanova. And
Yeah.
so she changed it to Natasha Romanoff. And then she goes by Natalie Rushman. And then her alias is the Black Widow. Bunch of different names. But I think her birth
When I
name
first saw
is-
this movie, I
yeah.
didn't know how significant she was in any way.
To Marvel.
To
the-
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, they introduced the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Yeah, yeah.
This is who works with
Fury.
Fury.
And Coulson maybe. And
They
that's
don't
it.
make him
Yeah.
seem...
Yeah,
When
yeah.
even when Coulson fucking shows up in the other movies, it's like, oh shit, oh shit.
It's a big deal.
Oh shit.
It's a big connective thing.
And they're like winking at you the whole time.
And I think a lot of this stuff would have been. Here's the other thing I struggle with too as an MCU fan. I'm so happy with how these movies panned out for the most part in terms of like the order that they made the movies and released them. Pretty stoked. I think it's mostly turned out great. Other than, yeah, it would have been cool if they had the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men. You know what I mean? Like
to
10
actually
years
roll
ago.
it out the way it was
Yeah,
rolled out.
mostly in the comics to kind of keep it as close to that as possible. But at the same time,
You're not going to it's not going
No.
to detract from it in any way to have him
And
now.
And I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I'm glad they never made a Black Widow movie until now because XYZ. Because truly, they could have made one.
They should have made
They
one.
should have and could have. I think they could have done a Hawkeye movie. I get why they didn't. I'm not trying
I'm
to
glad
pretend.
they're getting a Hawkeye show.
Me too. And I'm
and
glad.
it's based about.
Yeah, on the good comics I really
Yeah.
like. And I'm glad Widow's getting a movie. But I'm also saying I'm glad they sort of
For what, year
shortcutted.
12 now?
What? 12
It will
years
be
in?
the 12th year of
Yeah.
the MCU
And
by the time
So
Black
many
Widow
projects.
comes out.
13. Because of COVID being pushed back a year.
It's this year now, right? Black Widow?
2021. Yeah, it was supposed to be
I thought it was
2020.
Okay.
It's coming out.
It's 2021 now.
This year is now 2021. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, golly. Still feels
technically-
like 2016.
We haven't had a New Year's Eve yet. Right? So that's why
What do you
this is
mean?
a weird time right now.
What do you mean we haven't had a New Year's Eve?
Wait, did we have New Year's Eve already?
Of course we did.
Wait, we did. What day is it? Oh my God, it's January
the first
3rd.
one came out on the 28th.
Here's why I'm confused.
The way we released this podcast.
Abby and I are doing yoga with Adrian, and we're on day 28. So
do
I'm
you
thinking
remember?
it's the 28th
Do you
day of
remember when it was New Year's?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we did all that?
Yeah, yeah,
And it
yeah.
was midnight.
Yeah.
And we played Uno.
Yeah, that was great.
All that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember that
I
happened?
do remember that now, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot for a
I
second.
was worried.
I did forget for a second.
Do you know what day it is?
But here's what I do know. Tony Stark's height, weight, eye color, hair color, power grid.
Wow. What's his power grid?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. You
His
don't.
intelligence might be 6.
Yeah, but on Christmas Eve?
It's a 7. Everybody gets stronger. So anyway, what I was saying was
Eve boost.
I'm glad that these folks at Marvel Studios knew the important characters were Iron Man. Let's redo Hulk once. We have to establish Thor and we have to establish Captain America. Now we can do the Avengers. Black Widow's an important character and so is Hawkeye, but they are the easiest to explain because they're just human secret agents.
Sure.
You know?
But
That's it.
also,
But it would have been cool if Black Widow got a movie.
Aim
Yeah, it would have been cool if Black Widow got
gadget arrows.
got a movie like all the other men before the Avengers movie, you know, just to add to.
Well, considering also she was the only female
Yeah.
Avenger,
Yeah, absolutely.
it would make sense.
I think that she has mostly
check
been. I think she's mostly been well done in the Avengers team up movies, but
Except for
yeah, but except for what?
Avengers 2, probably.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm not gonna.
pretty messed up.
I can't argue that.
It's not great.
We can talk about that
I
when we
think
get
she's
to it.
good in Civil War.
Yeah, me too.
She's good in
Infinity War.
Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, all the Avengers stuff. What else does she appear in? I think that's it.
She's got
I
to
think
be.
that's it. Oh, Captain America 2.
Oh yeah,
Good.
great.
Really good.
She's awesome in that.
That's what she
She
had.
gets basically the exact same amount to do
straight
as
hair.
Captain America.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
yeah,
maybe it's like
and they kiss, but it's not. But it's like coworker.
no, that's
It's
weird.
interesting. You thought it
Oh,
was
that's
weird
because it's
when they're undercover?
Yeah, they had to.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But they're still kind of. They get close as friends. I buy it.
it is
Yeah.
very much like I'm a 90-year-old man. You're my little sister, still kind of also.
Interesting. Yeah, even though it's fucking Chris Evans.
Yeah.
and he was like 29 when they filmed that movie or whatever. Like he looks great.
Yes. Which
okay.
I think he does a good job
Yeah.
of seeming like
90.
yeah,
Yeah,
granddad vibes.
like a good dude. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
yeah.
I think granddad vibes. He's a little bit racist. He's got problems.
Like he sees Black Panther and he's like, okay, oh good for you, man, good for you. And you're
Got
like,
your pants
whoa,
pulled up.
whoa,
Whoa there, Buster.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay, so now we're still in Iron Man 2 world, and we're going through your overall thoughts, Keller. I think I overall think this is fine.
It's fine.
What I like about it,
Mickey Rourke is
villains.
awesome.
Mickey Rourke, Justin Hammer, all
Yes.
day. All
I'm
day.
so glad
All day.
that they're both in this movie.
Me too.
I
think
pretty
they do
much
great.
love most everything they do in this movie.
Mm-hmm. And I think it makes so much sense for the continuing story of Tony Stark and what he has to deal with.
And I'd be fine
know?
with him bringing Hammer back.
I hope they do. And I have
Because
a feeling.
Sam Rockwell is
let me tell you this.
great.
The Stark Wars, Armor Wars comic book storyline
Oh, it's got to have Hammer.
had Hammer. He was a big part of it. So I'm hoping that Donnie Cheadle, when he comes back to lead his show on Disney Plus, his 3-hour movie or whatever, that they bring back Justin Hammer. It would be so sweet. It'd be so great. I also think
First trailer is going to have Ross and
General Ross.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I see. Now you're getting into it. Now you have all these characters that you give a shit about. You're like, cool.
I don't care about any of them. I hope they all die in the first episode of all of their series.
Except Don Cheadle.
Except for Don Cheadle.
Yeah. He's cool.
Mhm. He's gone through enough in this series.
He has. So
He lost his best friend.
I know.
He lost his legs.
I know. I hope he gets to do some really good. I hope
He's
he
got to
gets
do some awesome shit in his own show.
You know what my dream is for all of these Disney Plus shows? Hawkeye, Loki, Donnie Cheadle's doing Armor Wars, all of these shows, is that these actors can kind of play these characters for the last time and be given the most to do, and then it's their swan song. Because Robert Downey got a great one. Chris Evans got a great
they
one.
have to go out on a TV show.
Yeah,
Like,
man, but
Robert Downey Jr. got to go out in the biggest
For sure.
movie event
For sure.
of the decade.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I don't think that those moments can't be replicated in future movies.
Not for every character.
Not for every character, but as much as I think,
Which, like we said, they a little bit squander Black Widow's death.
potentially, can they do things to make up for that? Yeah,
But it's
will
still
it work?
a movie
I don't
set
know.
in the past.
Yeah, unless the movie.
It's an alternate universe.
No, I don't want that.
Just kidding.
Unless the movie is mostly set in the past of 2016, and then at the end, it's like, here's Natasha's funeral.
We haven't even
And-
talked about the Spider-Man announcements on this podcast.
What's so about all of the characters and stuff? I'm kind of waiting for some of that to become more solidified because it feels so much like it's internet rumor world for me. It feels so much
There's
like
some
that.
confirmed ass shit though.
Yeah, with like Jamie Foxx coming back.
Yeah.
But then there's conflicting stuff
I
where
thought
like
they confirmed Toby and Andy.
I don't think they did. I do
Okay.
not think they did. Jamie Foxx confirmed, and apparently Alfred Molina
Alfred Molina
confirmed. But again, this to me does not
Is Paul
necessarily.
Giamatti yet confirmed?
He's in a dumpster somewhere. We got to get him out of there.
True, we do.
He
Guys, everybody
Nope,
go watch
don't
the
explain
episode.
it. Don't explain it.
Okay.
Leave it alone. They can look that up themselves.
Yeah, because I don't want to spoil what I want to say.
What was I going to say? Jamie Foxx had a conflicting Instagram post that he took down. Did you see that?
No.
Where Jamie Foxx was like, "Hey everybody, I'm so excited to come back. It's not the same character I played before. It's something a little different. Can't wait for you to see it. He may not be blue. Can't wait to come back." And then he took it down. So it's like people are automatically assuming this is going to be the multiverse, and I'm going, I don't think
He
so.
just said it's not.
I think it's going to be he is playing Max Dillon in the MCU. I think Alfred Molina might be playing Otto Octavius in the MCU, but they're bringing these actors back as a shortcut so that the audience will recognize, oh shit, that's Dr. Octopus. Okay, I know about Dr. Octopus. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not
already,
sure. I could be wrong. I
Like,
could be wrong.
Catherine Hahn is already erased.
Yeah, from the potential
Yes.
of playing.
Has erased Alfred Molina's Doc Ock
Oh,
from my
oh.
brain.
But I thought you were going to
Like,
say because she's
Catherine
in
Hahn is
WandaVision.
now the new.
But
That's
because
a
she's in
bummer. I know,
WandaVision,
but I mean,
she
that's
can't
what I
be
want, though.
Olivia Octavius.
It doesn't have
yeah.
to be her, but I want
A female.
either
Doc
female
Ock.
or I want
Me too.
a new.
Me too.
Like that was such a mind blowing revelation
great.
in that movie when
was
you're like,
awesome.
oh fuck.
My friends call me Liv,
Yeah.
but I'm Doc Ock. My enemies call me Doc Ock. Oh my God, she's Dr. Octopus. Amazing.
Did you see it coming? Did you know?
No.
That got you in the theater?
Hell yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, of course, man. That got me just like when Michael Keaton opened the door, and he's the father of Liz.
That got
And
you?
Hell yeah.
I love when these movies
Great.
get you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's why I hate it when fanboys complain about changes, because I'm like, but don't you want to get
You know what got me?
What?
I didn't know Batman and Superman's moms at the same age.
Well, believe me, nobody did.
Dude,
Until
that
Chris
fucking-
Terrio, until
that
the writer.
blindsided me, dude.
It's pretty crazy, right? Okay, back to
that
Iron Man
people
2.
were so lazy back in the 40s.
Yeah. Martha. Also Martha.
We got Martha, we got Betty, we got
Every mother's name is Martha.
Veronica.
Every mother in comic books is
It's
named
Martha's the
Martha.
moms.
And Thomas
Anybody
is the
younger than 30's Betty.
But if you work on a farm, it's Jonathan.
Yep.
But if you're rich, your name is Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here's my story. Thanks, Bob Kane.
Extra.
Thanks, Bill Finger. Back to Iron Man 2. Villains are great.
Bob Finger, Bill Kane. Just to make people mad.
Mm-hmm. Great. Whiplash, great.
I'm a stinker.
Ivan Vanko, great.
Yes.
I like the stuff with Anton.
I thought the Monaco scene was cool as hell.
So cool. Doesn't make a whole
Superfluous.
Yep.
Not needed.
lot of sense.
Very silly.
I mean, well, it's needed in the sense that Stark
It's the intro of the both of them.
and the idea that like Stark is on a public stage getting taken down and proven wrong.
But also you're getting the mental gymnastics of having to
I
be
know.
like, well, I guess Tony Stark is just allowed to do this. I guess nobody cares about the safety of these other drivers. I guess, okay, what's Monaco law? Is Monaco law different? Okay. All right.
But that suitcase suit is so
What's
cool.
crazy
So cool.
is that we see Justin Theroux on the Monaco planet in Star Wars.
What? Oh yeah, that's true.
He's the man with the
He's in
flower.
The Last Jedi. It's so funny. Oh, I love that shit so much.
In Monaco, essentially.
Next time I see The Last Jedi, I'm going to point to the screen and be like, that's the writer of Iron Man 2.
I'm going to be like, that's the lead from The Leftovers.
The Monaco planet, Canto Bight.
I'm going to be like,
amazing.
that's the relaxed guy.
That's the relaxed guy from Zoolander and Zoolander 2. They brought him back.
They did.
Do. They brought him back.
Perfect use.
Anyway, bad guy's great. Iron Man 2 here. I like
You said.
that Black Widow's in it, but I don't like the depiction of a lot of what she does.
Yeah, I'm glad she's in it too. Even her fight scene's not that great.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 seconds long.
Yeah. Cool. And I like how Happy looks worse because he takes the whole time to fight the one guy, and meanwhile Black Widow takes out everybody. But here's the thing I really dislike about Iron Man 2. All of the extra new element stuff. I couldn't get into the palladium poisoning.
It's the same shit
It's
as
just
what happens
Iron
in
Man
Iron
1.
Man 3 too.
Take the
We got to have one sciencey thing that is kind of the
Right.
crux of the whole movie
But
that he's got to deal with at the same time as dealing with the villains.
But in Iron Man 3,
You know?
what I liked about that, similar to the end of Homecoming, it's like, if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve to have it. And Iron Man 3 was like, then let's get him out in Kentucky for some fucking reason and pull away all his technology. Heck, he doesn't even have a suit. And he has to,
that line
which is cool. Which one?
is part of my argument for Don Cheadle's opinions in the Civil War.
Oh,
Movie.
okay. I see what you're saying.
You know?
I know, but he's still...
Not at that point. At that point, he's not much.
It's interesting how him and
In
Sam
Civil
Wilson
War,
are
he's
so...
not much.
How him and Sam Wilson are so similar, these two characters.
But Sam Wilson,
is siding with Cap.
and it's his own thing.
But he's also a military guy.
He's also a pilot, and he gets his
True.
own wings.
True. It's
And
so
he's got his
similar.
own... It's very similar.
But you're saying
but
it's
they're
his
all
own
pilots.
thing.
Yeah, like...
Let me tell you this.
Don Cheadle comes in... Not Don Cheadle.
Jim Rhodes.
Jim Rhodes.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Already military yes man for the most part.
For the most part.
I don't like that he's like, yeah, Hammer, make this have guns, please.
Sure.
That's a bad part of this movie,
Even
in
though,
my opinion.
like I pointed out, he didn't see it coming, but he just continues to answer to his
Well, remember
superiors.
later on, he's like, I want all of it.
True. That's true.
Give me all of it.
That's true. That's true. And then the justification is he says to Tony later when Tony like is commenting on all that shit, he goes, it's called being a badass. And you're like, okay. I mean, I
It's
guess.
called the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, I mean, his character's name is War Machine. Like, that is the name he takes for his superhero persona.
Because he gave it to him. You want to be the war machine?
Maybe. I mean, which is, it's just like Stain in the first movie.
Yeah.
He's like, we're ironmongers, Tony. That's what we do. That's what we are. Why am I Albert Finney all of a sudden? I'm ironmonger.
Jason.
Peter. Cliff Robertson and Spider-Man.
Oh, RPD.
R.I.P.D.
Uncle Ben.
Jeff Bridges is in
And
R.I.P.D.
Oh, yeah.
But the talking about mental gymnastics, the way that these superhero movies find ways to introduce a really silly name and try to make it make any sense is always so funny.
He's kind of like a Iron Man.
That's some kind of lizard. Like whatever the dumb,
Yeah.
What are you, some kind of vulture? What are we supposed to be? Some kind of Suicide Squad? Like it's always the dumbest.
The dumbest way to do it.
But I love it.
Like, you don't always love it.
I love
I'm
these
trying
names.
to think of the worst.
Give me one that I don't like.
the entire concept of Gotham. The show.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, you got me there. Don't like that.
The entire concept of Pennyworth.
Pretty forced. Yeah, pretty forced. But Don Cheadle.
How this Vilk is so small.
What?
Smallville.
Small. Great. Don Cheadle, I think, does a great job, and he is more likable later. His character in this is, I think, again, it's the same problem with Black Widow, where they're like, we have to have Rhodey in the suit by the end of the movie. We have to have Rhodey in an
I
iron,
don't mind their fight.
Sure.
I think it's
I do
even
too.
pretty funny.
Here's the deal. I think this is the one time I'm actually going to say it's been helpful to me to be reading all those old Marvel comics that I've been doing.
It finally is.
Thick boys, because...
Only because you're reading what
Rhodey.
they pulled from.
Yes, and what they truncated. And what they truncated was when Tony Stark was dealing with alcoholism, he had to stop being Iron Man. Rhodey comes in and he's active as Iron Man for months to years. Like, he takes over for a long time. He's the one that goes up to Secret Wars, to the planet up in space. It's Rhodey.
Oh, shit.
It's not Iron Man. Tony Stark is not in that story. It's Rhodey. And I think Rhodey's story is that he is Iron Man, inhabits that role. And because of the secret identity thing, people didn't know there was a switch. People didn't know Tony Stark stopped because Iron Man just kept being active. And they're like, that's the Iron Man. Like, they didn't know who he really was. And Rhodey goes through this whole journey where he becomes
like that. Like, if
It's
it was like,
interesting.
if there was something like in this movie where
he goes out in an
or
Iron
Tony
Man suit.
feels like shit,
Yeah.
because he's so sick,
Yeah.
and something crazy's happening,
Yeah.
So then Donnie Cheats has to go
goes in the Iron Man
and
suit.
then
Yeah.
you have Tony walking him through it while he's sick or whatever.
Honestly,
Like,
that's what I would have preferred.
That's what should have happened.
Because it would have explained how. But here's the thing, like we were saying while we're watching the movie, I understand why they didn't just do alcoholism, which is a defining
And you don't,
story
but it
arc.
would have helped to
Yes.
make. It would have helped to sell this.
I think that's what the palladium poisoning is supposed to be. It's supposed to, take the place of that. And that's why I'm like, I don't think this works for me. I don't give a shit about a new element.
But
and
that would
whatever.
have been easier to sell if this Rhodey thing happened, I think.
Yes.
Just because it's like, that's the reason.
So, and when Rhodey is Iron Man, which again is not working for the military, he's just being Iron Man for months or years.
Because they already did the thing that's like, this is killing me in the first movie.
Yeah, a little bit. And with the shrapnel in the heart, that's,
See,
it's them continually trying to find that weakness for Tony to make him interesting and somebody you root for. I think it's better done in Iron Man 3, is what I'm saying. And I'm hoping that...
it's better than Iron Man 3, but Iron Man 3 also is using some of the same tricks too much. Like, this one uses the same trick by having... well, now Ivan's got his own huge suit.
gray suit. I
That's
know,
the
which is
exact same.
annoying.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. It's just Ironmonger all over again, which is annoying.
Who
but
has whips.
the Vanko on the racetrack is a way cooler. It's just a really cool
That's awesome.
suit.
Yeah.
Quote unquote design,
Yes.
everything. It's great. Whiplash is great. But back to the Tony Stark stuff. I like the father-son stuff. I like bringing in S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit more. I like all of that. It's just and I like Rhodey being in a War Machine suit by the end of the film, them fighting, him being hacked, them having to
The
fight
way they
in the
went
suit.
about...
Yeah. Them versus drones, I think, is cool. I'm fine with that, the hammer drones.
Yes.
But it's just the way that
War Machine and Black Widow are both underserved in this movie.
Sure. And I'm hoping that they can be better served.
Like, they almost should have
with future
focused
stuff.
on one or the other.
And would it have taken more away from Tony? Maybe.
But that's fine.
Maybe.
This is round 2.
But Wonder Woman 1984. Look at what people are talking about with that film is they go, they should have focused more on Diana. We had too much of Pedro Pascal.
Sure.
And I agree with that too. So I'm like,
I agree with that.
It's a tricky balance.
Yeah, but also...
the benefit of comic books and now maybe with these Disney Plus shows, because look at WandaVision is going to be 6 episodes, 30
Wonder
minutes
Woman's
a pop.
more like fundamentally broken than...
Yeah, there's a bunch
Iron
of stuff.
Man
There's
is.
I would agree with that. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm like, I don't know if that... There's nothing in Iron
There's
Man
nothing...
2...
There's no... If you're keeping that story,
Yeah.
there's no way to give Diana what she deserves.
I agree. And there's nothing in Iron Man 2 where I go, that's so out of character for Tony Stark, the character of Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it all is fine.
It's
it
the
all makes
only,
sense.
like, we're having 30 suits again. It's like, we just kind of did that with all the drones.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Fighting a bunch of robots.
I still, yeah.
The Gendy fact was very cool, though.
Very cool. He storyboarded some of that final fight, man, because he's good at action.
And you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
I feel like I can tell.
The oil is blood.
Yes.
The oil splattering on
We've
War
been
Machine
watching
and
Primal,
stuff.
and I was like, that happened in Primal,
Yeah.
but with a dinosaur.
Yeah, with dinosaur blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool. So to kind of wrap up, I like Iron Man 2 fine, and I have so much fun with certain elements of it. There's a lot of seed planting, War Machine, Black Widow. I'm hoping that stuff can pay off in such a big way. Again, I was saying the benefit of these comic books, it can spend months and months and months and years establishing Tony Stark's going through it. He's an alcoholic. He's stepping back. Now it's Rhodey. Maybe these Disney Plus shows can bridge those gaps between these big movies. If WandaVision has 3 hours to focus on these two characters, maybe if we see her in Doctor Strange, we'll be like, we'll think differently about her as a
House of
character.
M happens.
Maybe, maybe if we see War Machine in a show, in an Armor Wars show, next time he shows up
What
in an
is
Avengers.
Armor Wars?
Well,
I need you to just tell me.
it is somebody like Hammer or Hammer himself getting Iron Man Stark technology, just like in Iron Man 2, like
Yes.
the shit that he invented, and selling it to bad guys, and a bunch of bad guys a bunch of supervillains upgrade their stuff, and they all become sort of like Stark Tech-esque quality caliber, and then Tony has to go around the world and like fight them and
Here's the deal.
take their technology
Very
away.
concerned.
About what?
How that's going to work.
Me too.
Like,
But
I hope
it
it's
is-
not like a worldwide military.
I mean, here's the other thing too.
Rhodey's got to be out of the military at this point, right?
I mean, he directly disobeyed Ross.
Yes.
And Ross is like Secretary of State.
I'm hoping he's straight up fugitive in this Armor Wars shit.
That I think is a very compelling. That's what I would like to see as well. I'd like to see Jim Rhodes really go through some stuff.
Like, say fuck
change
them.
his
in the way that
philosophy.
Captain America did, to where he's
Yeah.
like, wow, the government's actually pretty fucked.
Exactly.
Or S.H.I.E.L.D.'s pretty fucked.
And if Rhodey, if they want to say as a character, just like Cap did, if Rhodey is like, I also believe in individuals,
I
people,
hope that
that's fine. That'll work.
Siddhant, what's his last name?
Siddhant Aklana.
Yeah, I hope he writes about this new shit.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
But
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he's going to watch WandaVision and write about it. I'm sure he's going to watch Armor Wars, Iron Heart.
I'm more like specifically Armor Wars,
Yeah.
though.
Absolutely. And I think he did write about Avengers Endgame and praised some of the stuff they did in it, despite its whole
Well, he
thing,
still loves them, I think.
But you get to Endgame, and there's, again, just to flash forward, really interesting little lines where it's like Stark is calling S.H.I.E.L.D. quasi-fascistic. Like Stan Lee is saying, make love, not war, man. Like the interesting little ideas that they're plugging into there. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see where these characters, Black Widow and War Machine especially, end up, because Peter Parker is ongoing.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark's story's ended.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And that's where I'm at with Iron Man 2. No, I don't like it as much as the first Iron Man.
No.
But I think I like it more than the first Hulk. Or, sorry, Thor. Than the first
I like
Thor.
it better than Thor and Hulk.
And Thor 2.
And Thor 2.
Yeah.
And
maybe Ant-Man and the Wasp? I don't know. Can't wait to be ranking all of these as we go.
I bet if I think about it more, I might like it more than something else.
Do you have an MCU ranking?
We've done it before.
Okay.
Like when that one time me and you watched.
Do you do
all
lists
of them
on
before.
Letterboxd? Do you do that?
I haven't. No.
Bro, this could be your first.
I know I need to.
This could be your first.
You've been telling me to.
Good way to organize your
I'm
thoughts.
the one who told you to get Letterboxd.
Like, bro,
I'm
we're
ashamed of myself.
City Slickers 1, City Slickers 2, The Legend of Curly's Gold. Where you at?
The opposite of you, because Bruno Kirby. B Curbs.
Fair enough. Keller, what movie we're
Because
watching
all
next?
that is, that's When Harry Met Sally sequel to me. Baby.
Yeah. We're just missing Carrie Fisher and Meg Ryan.
Honestly,
Keller,
that should have been the wives.
What movie are we watching next, and where can people stream it?
Next movie we're watching isn't The Incredible Hulk yet again, because Hector said so.
Yeah.
We're watching Thor on Disney Plus.
And where else?
I missed it.
I sent it to you.
I just
Fubo
guessed.
TV. It's Fubo TV.
Fubo.
And it's our first 3D, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
And then we got to go back to no 3D.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I'm a little upset
Or you just want
that
to get
it's doing out of
Hulk
order.
out of the way? Yeah.
I just want to get Hulk out of the way, because then it's 3D all the way
Out of the
through.
way, baby.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about Thor and how it continues to build on this MCU thus far.
And how it was a mistake to hire Kenneth Branagh to do a Marvel movie.
Maybe it was, but
Who was the person who cast all these? Amy Pascal?
person who cast all of these?
What's her name?
You
Amy
mean,
Pascal? Do you know that
the
person?
casting director, like
Yeah.
actors? Sarah Finn Haley.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Haley
For some reason I
Finn.
thought Amy Pascal worked on these
She's a
movies.
producer.
Okay.
She's like a Spider-Man movie producer,
Right?
I think. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
She was in a Nora Ephron. I was like, she does superhero stuff.
Yeah, but Sarah Finn is like an unbelievably amazing casting
I
director.
hope she has all of the money.
Me too.
Like, she deserves 10% of Robert Downey Jr.'s check.
Yep, every time.
Chris Hemsworth's check.
I once sat next to her and her son.
Cut the check for Seraph
and Haley at a screening for the Ben
this is
Kingsley
an SFH fan club.
Absolutely,
on this
100%. She seemed very nice. Her and her son seemed very, very nice.
I 100% believe it.
Yeah. And she told me after, because I think her son was saying something, like I was talking to her kid in the movie theater talking about
her kid was like, these fucking movies are bullshit.
All Hail the King, and maybe he had questions or something, and I answered them or something, and
All Hail
afterwards
the
she
King?
was like,
oh,
nice. The Ben Kingsley, yeah.
Okay.
They did the premiere at the ArcLight in LA.
For just that short?
And I went there.
Was it cool?
Kevin Feige was there. I talked to him.
Benny King's there?
2013. I think he did. It was, but then he dipped out.
Man.
Yeah. It was awesome.
The best I got is seeing Taika and them at the ArcLight.
That's cool too.
But that's sitting in the theater.
That's
they do
cool
that for
too.
everybody.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's fine.
Anyway, guys, go watch Thor on Disney Plus or Fubo TV.
Yeah, because I saw him in front of me at the ArcLight.
Yeah.
I saw Thor.
And we'll be back next week.
And like when he was cool.
Yeah.
None of that Shakespearean weird stuff, dude. None of this much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing. That's what it should have been called. That's what Thor should have been called.
Ragnarok :
Much ado about... No, that's what Endgame should have been called. Much ado about nothing, because he is the dude. And he's about nothing.
Do you know how much money they would have lost if they called the fourth Avengers movie Avengers :
No, Avengers
Much ado about
Endgame.
nothing? Oh. Parentheses.
Much ado about nothing. It's like the Fantabulous whatever of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, just extra
Because...
stuff.
Well, I guess Infinity War is Thor's movie, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But even actually, 2 is too.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Talks to his mom. Talks to his mama. Who we're going to meet next week. Wow. Renee Russo.
See? Seraph and Haley.
Amazing.
That's okay.
Amazing. All right.
Renee Russo.
Go watch Thor. We'll see you guys in a week. Bye.
Anthony Hopkins. Oh, my God.
Say bye, Keller.
Oh, bye.